Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's Minisode. I'm sitting here all nice and cozy, and you see my fancy new technology on my chest. It's not my tits, but good guess. I got a fancy new little mic. So I feel like really bare right now because also I should be tracking my time. Okay. I feel really like bare because I usually have my computer right here. I have my microphone and a cat. Also, he's probably going to be showing up at any moment. Mark my words. But yeah, I upgraded a couple of things here, so trying to make my life a little bit easier. So yeah, I feel kind of like exposed right now, and I have my notes on my phone, which is kind of weird at the same time. But yeah, so welcome back to this week's minisode. I skipped last week because, as you guys know, it was Thanksgiving week last week, and I didn't know if I was gonna do a whole, situation. I would have had to squeeze it in earlier before we left for Florida. And I was like, you know what? I do what I want. So I did not do it. Decided to take a break. And you know what? It was such a great break from just kind of everything. I've been kind of in a funk, just cabin fever, that kind of thing. So it hasn't been all bad, but it was just nice to get away. And that Thanksgiving is on a Thursday because you technically have Friday off, and the days before that are already like slow. So that was really nice. And oh, I see a cat walking up here. Walter's been blowing up on TikTok, guys. Well, not really, but whenever I post a video of Walter doing something on TikTok, it always gets the most views, and he's the key to my success, I swear. Hi, buddy. Anyway, so Thanksgiving was really, really great. The weekend before Thanksgiving, we had our Friendsgiving, which I want to talk about because it was so much fun. There was like 30, 40 people there. They had this game that was like kind of a gambly type game. Where it's just like dollars, but it was a lot of fun, and I wish I had joined in earlier. It was like called Ponies or something like that, and we did that at the end of the night when people were kind of trickling out, but there was like a big group that were just like doing the game, and then had so much food. Earlier that day, and this is how I've been managing my holidays the past couple of years when it comes to like tracking and not gaining weight or not getting completely too off track, right? Is I'll, do not fast at the beginning of the day because I don't know who taught us that. I was talking to somebody about this, that especially on Thanksgiving or like the big Christmas dinner, you don't eat during the day. Maybe, you know what, now that I think about it, I think it's because we would get in hair on my face. We would get in so much trouble when we were kids if we ate before the dinner that our mothers were, slaving over all day long. I think that's what it was, because we get yelled at. We don't want to ruin our appetite. So save room, save room. I think I'm onto something here. I think that's why. Comment if that was your experience growing up. Trauma, am I right? No, I'm just kidding. But maybe that's where it came from. But everyone does it. Mark did it, and I was just like, babe, at least have an egg, have a protein shake. You're going to be hungry later. Like, there's no doubt about that. That's how our bodies work. You're going to be hungry later. And so I can't control him, but he did what he did. But I could do what I could do, which was what did I even eat? I think I had my actual normal breakfast, which I had a little bit later in the day, protein shake, egg, and some sweet potato fries. I didn't have as much of it as I normally do, but I did eat it. And then, what time did we really eat? It was like 4 or 5 o'clock. And I had a snack before that too. Like, I didn't eat the normal amount of stuff that I normally eat. It's not like because I did want to eat a lot at that Friendsgiving because I knew There were going to be some good food, and it was potluck style, right? So you would think you roll the dice a little bit, not everybody's a good cook, but you know what? I have a really good set of friends who brought some amazing stuff. For one, well, excuse me, I made the stuffing, which was bomb. I've heard comments in the days later, or the days after that, all these compliments about, that was you did the stuffing. I'm like, yes, no big deal. I just love the stuffing, like, because I put cranberries in it. I love that salty, sweet flavor in my mouth. And that's what she said, one. And two, it's just the best combo. It really is just so sweet and savory and fulfilling. I just do like it. So that's what I try to peg myself as, is the stuffing girl, the girl who does the stuffing. And so that was obviously a win. And then a friend made this corn casserole, I think it was, which hasn't been a staple in my normal Thanksgivings, but this one was really good. Not that I don't like corn. I love corn, trust me. But it's just not one that I was always around. And she had like rice in it. It was cheesy. It's like, oh, okay. So I had a scoop of that. And then the best part, well, let me talk about the turkey first, because he like smoked it or whatever, and he was feeling a little insecure about it. The host, her husband, did the turkey, and it was, I don't know what the flavor was, but oh my God, it was so moist. And that's the problem everybody runs into, right? When it comes to the turkey, it's easy to get it dry. Like it's easy to mess up and have a dry turkey. So like, one, don't feel bad if that's you, because that's easy to do. It's easy to lose the moisture. But this one was just so moist. Really good. I had a few servings of that. And I made sure I had a big chunk of turkey, because that's lean protein, right? Hey, balance. Whoa. And then, okay, the star of the show. Did I have dessert? I don't even think I had dessert. I may have had a brownie, but I didn't really care about dessert. I just wanted the savory stuff. But the star of the show was this mac and cheese one of our friends brought. And he made it himself. And it was a dude, which was, one, surprising. And two, it is also another dish that's so easy to get wrong, because it's either just too bland or not cheesy enough. Or usually for me, my experience, even in fancy restaurants, the mac and cheese is always just bleh, it's bland. Like, I love the cheese aspect, and that's why I still eat it, because it is like still good in certain ways. You just need just a little bit of salt, just a little bit of it. It was so perfectly seasoned. It had the breadcrumbs on top. Oh, and it was the big spiral mac and cheese, not like the elbow. So that was already a win. Enough cheese. It was great. And then it had peppers in it. It was like so fucking good. I think actually we still have some of the leftovers. Like, they didn't have any more containers. So we just took a big thing of tinfoil and just like wrapped a big like fistful of it. And it's probably bad by now, but whatever. So that was like really, really fun. And of course, I left all my dishes over there. I had it all packed and ready to go, and I just walked right out that door without grabbing it. I'm sure that was everybody's problem. So that was Saturday, and then we left late on Tuesday. Was it? Yeah, it was Tuesday night that we left for Miami. And we got in at like, I didn't get to bed till 2:30 Wednesday morning. So I slept in, still had to work a little bit. And I don't think you guys need a play-by-play of my entire week, but this is what we're doing. So I don't care. So I slept in that day, and which was great. But still had that, like, I call it like a sleep hangover. But still got through it. And so I was nervous. Well, not nervous, but you always are a little anxious somewhat when you're on this like tracking protein, weight loss, fitness, whatever journey, when you go on trips, because you're not in your normal environment. You're not cooking all your meals. You have to rely on other people to do the planning, because I'm a guest at somebody's house. So it's not like, hi, this is my menu. this is what we're eating. Thank you. Like, no. So there's always that little like pinch of like, I'm just going to do the best I can, which is good. This is what everybody should do. And this is what I wanted to talk about today was, all I can do is control what I can control. And, which is so true. Always remember that there's a lot of factors that you can control, but there's still more than normal that you can't. So as a guest in somebody's house, I'm like, try to tell Mark like, so what were we thinking for dinner? And he's gotten, with the program since being with me, where he'll start just kind of telling me what we're going to be doing without me asking, which is like really great because one, he also loves to eat. So he's just as invested for dinner as I am. So I could plan around that. And honestly, what I did, we had a comment in the Facebook group asking, if it was okay. This sounds random, but there's a point to this story. There was a comment in the Facebook group where a girl was asking if it was okay to have 2 protein shakes in a day if she finds herself low and just needs something to supplement it. And I commented, and I'm like, absolutely. Like, that's exactly what I did in my trip in Miami. And because I knew that it's so easy to be low on protein. It's so easy. So what I did was I brought my protein powder with me and my own shaker cup. And every morning with my coffee and a protein yogurt, like the Oikos, I ate that. I had 2 scoops of the protein powder, which was like 50 grams of protein. And with the yogurt, I was having like 65 to 70 grams just right off the bat. So I could like rest a little easier. And then when it came lunchtime and dinner time, I could, track it however I needed to track it, do the best I can there, and then just call it a day, honestly. And then obviously you can control your water, right? Which is what I did. I was low on some days with water, but I was still actually pretty proud of myself because I normally just can like, oh, fuck, whatever, I don't care. But I was pretty proud of myself this time around because even though I was low on some days, it definitely was a priority. And the other thing that I was nervous about was walking. I knew I wasn't going to get to the gym, which is, again, okay. It's nice to have a whole rest week, not going to lie. But I knew I wasn't going to get to the gym this week. I didn't want to pay for a day pass. I didn't want to have to coordinate like, well, what are their holiday hours? And then everybody's sharing this one car because his mom doesn't drive. And then like they're always going on errands. And I just didn't want to be like, yeah, drop me off at the gym. So there were a few factors there. And then so the walking was where I was like, okay, definitely have to make sure I just get around the block a couple times. It's not as blistering hot and like crazy in Miami this time of year because it's winter, so I can handle it. And I did so good. I was so happy. Mark was always on board with moving more, and we ended up going to the zoo the day after Thanksgiving, which was a perfect way. It was just so perfect to get several thousand steps in. And some days were a little low, but for the amount of steps that I got each day, even if they were below my goal, I was still so like, this is so much better than years prior. So I was pretty happy about that. And wait, let me look at my notes. Yeah, so I definitely just wanted to talk about, how I tracked and how I managed my Thanksgiving while going on this whole journey. And you're always going to feel that little like bit of worriness, but just literally list out the things that you can control. Like you can bring your protein powder, you can, pretty sure it's not rude in most homes to just have a few of your own groceries, no big deal. Where it's 2023, everyone is picky about something. And then walking and water, like those are the things that you can control. And then it might be difficult with schedule and what everyone's planning on doing and all this stuff, but still do the things with your family, still have fun. And this still all applies because guess what? The holidays are coming next year. And guess what? You're going to go on another trip before the holidays. You know what I mean? Like this stuff will happen time and time again. So let's learn, just like Lindsay says, let's learn how to properly manage times like these because it's always going to happen and you can't avoid it in order to lose weight. Like you don't have to suffer. Like, trust me. So all that to say is, excuse me, I gotta sneeze. Nope, not gonna happen. All that to say was that, so we got back Saturday night, had whole day Sunday, got right back in it. I don't think I worked out, but I definitely walked, had my water, did my normal routine, blah, blah, blah. Checked in with Lindsay on Monday, and it didn't hit me until she actually pointed it out to me was that I was down 3 whole pounds from my last check-in a week prior. Excuse me? I was like, oh, wait, yeah, there's a section where we write in a weekly win. I didn't even write that. Like, why didn't I write that? I was just like, oh, I stepped a lot. Or I walked a lot. Like, something dumb because I don't like to think. I'm too lazy to think about it. And, because the week prior I was at 200, but I was on my period that week. But weeks prior to that, when I wasn't on my period, I've been sticking around 198 for a minute. And so to check in a pound below my actual norm was really cool. I was like, what am I doing? Because I definitely drank while I was in Miami. Like I had some drinks and I stayed up. There were like 3 nights where I was like, why the fuck am I up right now? Go to bed. 2 nights where I stayed up till like 3 a.m. We went out in my downtown Miami and it was actually really fun. Oh my God. And that's a story for another time. But it was just such a great win. And it sounds like, this is the other thing I wanted to kind of touch on, especially during these times when we're a little more anxious about gaining weight, anxious about staying on track, anxious about not wanting to overindulge, things like that, whatever yours is. There's lots of things that you can track your progress on, and a lot of people focus on the scale too much, and this is probably just in everyday life. So listening to me, it sounds like I focus on the scale too much, but it's not true because I use other metrics. I use photos. I use how I'm sleeping, how I'm feeling just in general. And then, just looking back at how I'm managing my macros over the week. But the scale right now for me is probably a little bit more of a metric that I am focusing on just a little bit more in general, because I have gained a lot of muscle. So the scale isn't going to necessarily reflect like it was the muscle gain, the weight that I'm gaining from muscle growth. It's not that I'm not gaining as much muscle as I was at the beginning of my journey, if that makes sense. So the scale, like, we're not going to really look at that or get discouraged by it, but it's still a metric, right? So now that I love my physique, I love the amount of muscle I have, there will be still some more growth because this ass, let's see what it can do, right? Let's find out. So, but my main priority, my main focus is fat loss. So that's where the scale comes in. Like, you can definitely tell by photos for sure. And I do see some changes there. But, so the scale does sound like it's my end all and be all, but it's not. So I want you guys to remember that. If you came out of Thanksgiving week and you were a couple pounds up on the scale, like, I would not get discouraged at all, because you cannot gain that much weight, literal fat. You cannot gain, it's impossible to do that. Like, biologically, you cannot gain 4 pounds of fat, like actual fat. You can gain 4 pounds of like weight when it comes to like inflammation and water retention and stuff like that. So if you are discouraged by the scale, drink your gallon of water, every day, do your protein and normal macro intake, and then a few days later, just see that puppy go right down. Okay? Okay. Are we cool? Are we cool? We're good. How long has it been? I got it. Okay. Just get close to the camera because I don't have like the timer right in front of me. Do you guys love my sweater? It's so cozy. Anyway, so I just wanted to talk about myself today, which I don't care, but just as a little bit of encouragement and personal reflection for yourselves to remember, like, okay, Thanksgiving may not have gone perfectly like I wanted it to, and one, that's okay too. There's always next year. There's always another day. It's so true. There always is. And we can learn from our mistakes, and I think that's where a lot of people can go wrong. Like, okay, well, give yourself the grace and then not learn from the situation. I think Nicole said at one point where a little bit of shame is good in our life. So that's a deep one to unpack. But it's so true that, yeah, if I drank a little too much last night, I'm going to feel that, like, fucking hey, KateLynn, like, when are you going to get your shit together? Like, when is this happening? But let's look at the bigger picture. I've gotten so much of my shit together. We're good. Let's just continuously learn our lesson and grow and do better next time. Not just completely write it off the next time, because like it's so easy to write it off and say, oh, that's okay, blah, 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 excuse. So just remember that as the holidays continue. You probably have some holiday parties coming up. I have a ugly Christmas sweater party coming up, and oh my God, Mark and I got matching ones. Mine was red, his was green. And what does it say? His said jingle balls. Like, it's not ugly, it's actually kind of cute. His said like jingle balls, and mine says, what is it? Tinsel tits. We actually got them last year for a friend's birthday in the Florida Keys. Around this time of year, he had a birthday, and they did an ugly Christmas sweater birthday party, which is actually such a fun idea if your birthday is this time of year. So yeah, we have an ugly Christmas sweater party on Saturday. I'm really looking forward to that. And then I should just share my calendar with you guys. That's pretty much all I'm talking about. But yeah, be encouraged, y'all, and stay on track. Drink your water. Do the things that you gotta do. Control what you can control. God, I hate that, but I love it, but I hate it. Mark says it all the time, but it's so fucking true. If you feel overwhelmed on a day where there's a party or just with everything that's coming up, sit down and write a list of all the things that you can control. That should make you feel better. That should take off that mental load. That's such a good tip. Writing helps. It really helps. Just take it out of your brain and off of your shoulders. So try that. Let me know how it goes. Let's talk in the Facebook group if you have any questions. You want some advice. You have coaching questions in general. Lindsay's there, Casey's there. We're all there to help guide you, love you, and support you. And yeah, we'll see you there, guys. And I gotta get back to my little thing because the camera is now on my phone, which is like really cool. Technology. So yeah, this is weird. I should have done this prior. But anyway, I'll stop. You guys have a great rest of the week. Have a great weekend. Have happy, fun holiday parties. All of it. I want to hear about it. And bye. Thanks for listening to the FFP Alignment Podcast. Please support us by downloading, rating, and recommending us to your friends and family. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at the FitFemme Project. That's FITFEMME
Project. And for those of you looking to find their essential balance of lifestyle and fitness, book a free consult by going to thefitfemproject.com. That's FITFEMME project.com and click apply now. Until next time, this is the FitFem Project Alignment Podcast.